Well, welcome to another one of our tight topics. This particular topic on Photoshop is going to be about the crop tool. Hopefully, I'll stay within my time frame. It shouldn't be that complicated. Uh, I've gone over my time frame quite a few times, probably gabbing like this. Let's close my picture here. We're looking at a picture of Monument Valley, taken from Hunts Mesa in the evening. I was up there with Connie and David Emerson recently, not recently, but a couple of years ago actually. This was as the sun went down. We stayed overnight up there. Beautiful place. Anyways, you can see here the picture is of Hunts Mesa. The horizon's a little crooked, and I can probably take out this tree here, but that's for another workshop. The tree on the left. We're going to do is talk about the crop tool, which is over here on the left hand toolbar. When you just click on any particular tool, like the crop tool, up above you'll see options that show up for that tool. So if I click on a different tool, different options, right? We're talking about crop tools, so this is what we'll talk about today. When you click on the crop tool, you should see uh, the handles show up for the crop handles here, and the options up above. If you don't see these handles here, you need to go into your property setting in Photoshop and make sure it's set so these handles do show up. But by default, they should. Okay, anytime you select the crop tool, you have different options now. What are these options? First of all, you can set some default PPI, and inches. If you're going for a print, for example, you can set this up to print to a specific size. You can add your own preset size if you want to, and there's some other options up here, and all the tools have these same sort of options when you go to use them. The next thing over here, you can set a ratio. Okay, some of the same sort of things, but here I can set for example a 16:9 ratio, which is a nice ratio for most landscapes. I don't particularly like that ratio here because I do like the sky. I want to keep a lot of the sky in here. So if I want to uncommit from a particular selection, I can click the uncommit, or I could commit it here. All right. So I'm going to uncommit that one. I'm going to go back to the original ratio. Okay, so now I'm back to where I was before. You're going to notice this thing has a template on it. A compositional tool on it. I'll talk about that in a minute. If I do select a ratio, for example, let's say 4:5, I can switch between the two by hitting these two little arrows here, back and forth. Okay, that's how that works. I can also clear that ratio. I don't want the 4:5 now. It says it's not, and I can actually go to anything. Once it's clear, I'm free to do any ratio I want. Okay, so that's one of the ways. If you want to do it free form, hit clear, and then you'll be all set to do whatever you want. I can go back now, go original ratio, and I'll uncommit, which means this will just go back to. I'm not cropping anything. Okay. So that you cancel current crop operation or reset the crop. Okay, crop box. Now, so we'll keep on going down this options bar. We've talked about the ratio. We've talked about how you can switch between the ratio, how you can clear your selection. Now we'll look at the straighten tool right here. Okay. Before we look at the straighten tool, as you do you'll notice there are different composition. Right now I have it in golden spiral. The reason I have it there is because I'm trying to set up the golden spiral over this branch. It's a compositional rule to help you bring your subject into focus. The main subject here really isn't the branch, it's the valley, but the branch stands out in front, and it's just a good focal point for the image. I'll leave it there. I can obviously go to other things, rules of thirds. It's a good place to put the horizon. I really don't want to do that here because I like the sky so much. I'll probably leave the horizon pretty well centered for this particular picture. I'll go back to the golden spiral as it was before. And I'll use the straighten tool, and I'll show you why it's important to have content aware on when you use the straighten tool, for example. Deleted crop pixels is another thing I typically do not have. I don't have checked because I want to be able to go back should I make a mistake. So let's just not check the delete crop pixels. I do like content aware on, especially when I'm using straighten. So let's go ahead and make a crop using the straighten tool. So now that I'm in the straighten tool, I can crop this any way I want. For example, I could do this kind of thing here, okay? But I won't do that. I'll leave it there, and I'm going to select this straighten tool here. The straighten tool now, you can see I've got a little icon of the straighten tool. I can go along the horizon and see I want that to be flat. Let it go. The picture now is straight. But you'll know what happened here. You can see what happened here is created an area around the picture of blank pixels. I could bring that out a little bit if I wanted to. And the reason I don't mind those blank pixels there is I'll leave it like that. Yeah, let's even bring down the bottom picture. I'm going to get more picture. You can see all the blank areas here. Once I commit to this, the content aware will fill in those blank areas. Okay. Now it's thinking. It's quite a process to go through here. It's looking at all the edges and all the content that's close to those blank areas, and there it's filled it in. So now I've got a picture that's been filled in, and all those blank areas are now gone. We can do some final cropping using content aware also. So if I go back here and, for example, I got the spiral on, so that's on. As soon as I click here, the spiral will show up again. There you go. Let's say I wanted to move this over a little bit to get that spiral on the branch there, and maybe I want to bring this up a little bit to bring that spiral up a little bit more. Now I've got the spiral right where I want it. Content aware. Let's see how good it is. That's a lot of space to fill in. Okay. There it is. It filled in pretty good. It filled in the area around here and along the side. So now I've got a new crop. If I go back to the history panel and look where it was before and where it is afterwards, a pretty reasonable job. Pretty reasonable job. These clouds up here are not too bad, but I'm not really happy with them. But they're not bad. So you can see what it's done. Well, I hope that gives you some ideas with content aware, and hope that helps you.